Have you ever felt took that weight of constantly explaining yourself, trying to justify who you are in a world that just feels so noisy sometimes?
Oh, absolutely. It's exhausting.
Right. But what if happiness wasn't about, adding more complications, but actually finding clarity through some like ancient simple wisdom?
hmm Like a secret that's been hiding in plain sight all along. Not something complex, but something fundamental.
Exactly. And that's really what we want to explore today. We're diving into this beautiful piece called Six Simple Lessons for a Happier Life. It's framed as wisdom from an old teacher to his students.
And that framing itself is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
It suggests these aren't new fads, but timeless truths. Gentle guidance, almost.
Totally. Reading it, I felt this weird sense of familiarity. Like, yes, I knew this deep down, but I'd kind of forgotten. It felt comforting, honestly, like finding a wise friend.
Yes, that resonance. Our goal today is really to unpack these six simple principles. Simple words, maybe, but they have really profound implications for, well, how we live every day, how we find real well-being.
Okay, let's get into it. The piece starts with the teacher saying, you don't need to be rich, you don't need to be famous, you don't even need to be perfect. Which, I mean, phew, what a
Right
relief.
off the bat, yeah. Setting the stage for something achievable.
And he promises that if you live by these six ideas, you'll be happier than most people even dream of. So, lesson number one.
Lesson one is speak to those who understand you.
And the line that just jumps out is, there's no need to force yourself to explain who you are to people who are determined not to see you.
Wow. That's permission to just stop trying so hard with some people.
It really is. Think about the energy saved.
He says the world is vast, not everyone will get you. But if just like 1% of people truly understand you, that's more than enough. 1%, it totally reframes connection, doesn't it? Away from pleasing everyone to finding your people.
And it's not just about feeling good, though that's part of it. It's strategic, really. Energy conservation, all that effort trying to make someone understand who just won't, it's draining, mentally, emotionally.
Totally drained.
Yeah.
So redirecting that energy towards connections that actually resonate, where you're on the same frequency, as the piece says, that's like reinvesting in yourself.
Yeah.
Life feels lighter, conversations go deeper. It's just natural, less friction.
It really is like finding your tuning fork,
Yeah.
Click. And you instantly feel seen. Without all the usual defenses up, it makes you think, who do you share your deepest stuff with? Are they really on your frequency?
hmm Or you constantly trying to bridge this gap that maybe can't be bridged.
Hmm.
It's about where you invest your time, your attention, those precious resources,
Yeah. Are you trying to convert people or nurture the connections that already lift you up?
which actually leads perfectly into lesson two.
Yes. The teacher smiles and says, be content with who you are. And this line, in this life, you are not here to impress the world. You are here to live your truth. Boom.
So direct. Be yourself. And the consequence. The right people will appreciate you for it.
And the wrong ones.
Let them go with peace in your heart. And that peace part is key. It's about releasing the resentment, the fear, the regret that ties you to those negative interactions or that need for approval. It's about finding freedom inside.
Reading that, I felt this surge of like, yes, permission to just be authentic, stop perform. And I love the idea that joy often arrives when you're no longer trying so hard to chase it. Like it's a natural result of being present and true to yourself.
Exactly. It's a byproduct, not the goal itself.
But okay, here's the tricky part, right? How do you actually do that? Live your truth when, maybe it clashes with family expectations or your job or whatever. Isn't there a risk?
That's the real work, isn't it? It's
Mhm.
easy to say, harder to do. Maybe that peace in your heart isn't just about letting them go, but about finding the strength within yourself to handle the friction that might come up. The Source talks about accepting what comes, letting go of what must leave. It's about managing the internal pressure, so joy has space to bubble up naturally.
So it's an internal job first. Makes sense. It really asks you, the listener, what does living your truth look like, even when it feels hard?
A vital question. And that connects to the third lesson, which feels like the next logical step.
Which is, surround yourself with positive energy, the teacher puts it bluntly. You are the average of the people you spend time with. We've all heard variations of that, I think.
We have, but this piece connects it to something almost physical. Emotional contagion,
What?
social learning. Our brains literally mirror the attitudes around us. So when the Source mentions positive osmosis, it's not just poetry, it's a real psychological effect.
Oh, interesting. Like it just seeps in.
Pretty much. The examples are great. Walk with hopeful people, your steps get lighter. Talk with dreamers, your vision grows. Stay close to uplifters, you become better without even realizing it. Happens subtly.
That paints such a clear picture. You don't even have to actively try sometimes. Just being in that positive field helps. And that old saying, to know a person, look at their friends, suddenly feels much deeper. It's about the influences shaping your very being.
Absolutely. It highlights how much our values, our outlook, even our basic sense of peace are molded by our circle. So the advice to choose wisely and let your circle be a source of light, not noise, that's a call to be really intentional about who you let in.
Yeah, really intentional. So it makes you pause and think, what kind of energy are you cultivating around yourself daily?
And naturally, the flip side of that coin is the next lesson.
Right. Lesson 4, stay away from negative people. And the piece is careful to say it's not about judging others, but about protecting your own spirit.
That distinction is so important. It's not about saying they're bad people,
Mm.
but recognizing the impact their energy has on you. The source describes them carrying a dark cloud, constant complaints, heavy energy, blame, bitterness.
You can almost feel it reading the description.
Right, and the question becomes, how much of that can you absorb before it starts affecting your internal weather?
It really does cling to you, as the text says. You start feeling tired, stop dreaming, lose your smile. It's like emotional secondhand smoke or something. That's why it feels less like judgment and more like self-preservation, emotional hygiene.
Exactly, like putting up an energetic filter. You wouldn't deliberately stand in toxic fumes.
Definitely not.
So the advice is, be kind, but keep your distance. It reinforces that life is too short and your peace too precious. Compassion is vital, yes, but sometimes protecting your own well-being means setting clear boundaries.
Absolutely. So thinking about your own life, how does your energy react around different people? And what can you do to safeguard that peace? It's a really practical lesson.
And safeguarding that peace allows you to fully appreciate the positive connections, which brings us to lesson 5.
Yes, cherish those who inspire you. I love this definition of good friends. They don't just make you laugh, they make you grow.
That's a beautiful distinction, isn't it? It goes beyond just having fun. Real friends, the source says, encourage you. They remind you of your strength. They challenge you to rise higher. They fill your days with purpose and your heart with courage.
Reading that has filled me with gratitude, for the people like that in my own life. And it also made me think, am I being that kind of friend to others?
That reciprocity is key. Are your relationships genuinely about mutual growth and inspiration, or some just comfortable habits? These inspiring friends, they feed your soul, not just your habits. They believe in your light, even when things feel dim.
They're partners in your journey, really. Catalysts for becoming more. So it prompts that reflection. Who are those people in your life? The ones who genuinely push you to grow, and are you cherishing them?
A crucial inventory to take. And that leads us to the final lesson, which feels like the culmination of all the others.
Lesson 6, be your own light. The teacher pauses, the text says, and then softly advises, don't wait for someone else to guide your path. Carry your own light.
This hits deep. It's about radical self-responsibility, isn't it?
Yeah.
Taking ownership of your own happiness, your own direction.
Yeah.
Not waiting for a rescuer.
Exactly. No damsels or dudes in distress waiting for someone else.
Right, but it adds another layer. Bring your own sunshine, and if possible, let it warm someone else too. So it's not just internal, it's about radiating that warmth outward, becoming a source for others.
That's the part that really resonated with me. It elevates it beyond just self-care, and then it brings in that powerful Stephen Hawking quote.
Ah, yes, about disability, it's not your fault. But complaining or expecting pity doesn't help. What matters is a positive attitude and making the best of it.
And connecting that to this lesson feels so right. Life throws curveballs, things we don't choose. But we always choose our response. How we live it, who we live it with. It just fills you with this sense of agency, Empowerment.
Absolutely. It's a profound reminder that even facing huge challenges, our internal stance, our choice to be a light, is always ours to make. It's powerful. So the question for you becomes, what does carrying your own light actually look like day to day, especially when things are tough?
It's a challenge. So after laying out these 6 lessons, the teacher wraps it all up under this final heading. The choice is yours.
Which brings it all back to personal responsibility. The lessons are simple to understand maybe, but living them requires constant, conscious choices. He sums it up with those powerful pairs. Choose understanding over frustration, peace over pride, positive energy over toxic, growth over gossip, light over darkness.
There's such clear directives. actionable.
They really are. Not just nice ideas, but ways to actively shape your experience.
And then comes that analogy. Oh, it's so vivid. Because in the end, you become who you walk with. Walk with butterflies and you'll find flowers. Follow flies and you'll end up at the trash. You can't forget that image.
It cuts right through, doesn't it? Simplifies everything down to the power of your associations, the company you keep.
It really does. And the final 3 imperatives: choose wisely, live gently, love deeply. It feels like the distillation of everything.
It is. And while these ideas might not be brand new, diving into why they work, how they subtly impact us, that's the value here. Following them genuinely shifts your life experience. It empowers you to be the architect of your own contentment.
It really feels that way. It leaves you with this sense of, okay, the world might be chaotic, but this part, my choices, my energy, who I walk with, that's something I can actually influence. It gives you hope and a sense of control.
Precisely. Happiness isn't something you just stumble upon. It's cultivated from the inside out, nurtured by conscious choices.
So maybe the final thought for everyone listening, reflecting on these lessons is, what's the one choice, maybe, or one shift in who you walk with that feels most important for you to make right now? The one that could bring more flowers, less trash onto your path.
That's a powerful question to carry forward, because it moves us from just thinking about it to potentially doing something. The wisdom is simple, sure, but living it takes that daily conscious effort.
Well said. So as you go about your day, maybe hold on to that idea. Carry your own light, choose wisely, the path ahead. It's yours to illuminate, and the company you keep really does shape the view.